All righty, we are live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and for tuning in. We have a very special conversation on this evening. I'm so excited to be in the presence of these two wonderful people. We have Miss Valeria
Yes,
Vasan, no,
Cunningham.
Cunningham, Howard Cunningham.
Correct.
Valeria Howard Cunningham, and we have Anton Cunningham. And I am Donna Craddock with the Doc Bookshop. And we are going to take a minute to make sure that we are working on all of our socials. So while I'm doing that, please share this live, share. And again, um, the Doc Bookshop is located in Fort Worth. We are an indie bookstore, been around for 17 years. If you're in the DFW area, please come to the Doc Bookshop and meet this wonderful author and the CEO of the Bill Pickett Rodeo. So if you're in this area, make your way to the Doc Bookshop right now and meet them because they're here and they'll be here for a couple hours. So make sure you come. I want to make sure because we have done lives before where there's been some issues. So now what we do,
Life happens.
right? What we do now is that we just pause and
Check.
Make sure
Check.
it's working.
Hey.
Right.
check and make sure these channels are working. And so I'm going to check our YouTube audience, make sure we're on YouTube.
I laugh because life does happen. So
Like
Every day.
I can't keep up. Oh, you looking good on YouTube. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see the Facebook family. Make sure we out there in the Facebook world. Okay, we are looking good, y'all. We're live.
Let's go.
Wonderful. And we're gonna work on IG. So right now, shout out to our Facebook, our YouTube audience, and a special shout out to our in studio audience. Thank you all for being here. Okay, real quick, I guess I need to read. I have special instructions here, so I have to read your autobiography.
oh no.
Well, and she did a brief one, so I'm not gonna. It's brief.
Okay.
So, but I want people to know, I'm in the presence of greatness. Okay, so I want y'all to know who they are if you don't know. Anton Cunningham. He's the author of this wonderful book that we're going to be discussing, Under the Western Skies. Lou Vason. Okay, now I got it on. Start turning it on.
Vason.
Lou Vason. Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm learning to say it correctly. Lou Vason.
Yes. You got
Lou
it.
Vason.
You got it.
Fine. Yep.
Okay. How many people are saying it wrong like me?
I can't answer that question for you. The majority of them do it.
Lou Vason. Yes. Okay. Thank you, my dear. All right. So Anton is the founder of Anton Cunningham Global Marketing, specializing in small business growth, emotional intelligence. Okay. That's that AI stuff.
The EI, emotional.
EI. Okay.
Yeah.
And ads management. 2 decades of fitness leadership. Okay, that's fitness too. He brings roughly 20 years of experience in the fitness industry. And he's also the general manager of LA Fitness. Is this
That was part of my fitness experience.
Okay. Essential to his brand is combining emotional intelligence, storytelling, and digital marketing to help people and businesses transform through narrative. He positions himself not just as an author, but also as a self-publishing guide and emotional intelligence coach, helping others to deliver authentic and impactful stories. Wonderful. So you're a publisher.
Yes, my Kaja Publishing is my hybrid self-publishing business.
Okay. And also we're in a beautiful presence of Valerie Howard Cunningham. Valeria Howard Cunningham. I'm sorry, y'all. Valeria Howard Cunningham.
So if I can share that, most people get it incorrect also. So don't worry about it.
Lou Vason and Valeria Howard Cunningham. I'm going to get their names right. Okay. Valeria Valeria, okay. You are the CEO, president, and producer of Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. Wow.
That's correct.
Wow, that's awesome. And she currently leads BPIR as a sole Black woman owner and promoter of the only African American family touring rodeo circuit in the U.S. Wow. So you're a legend.
No, just a hard worker.
You are actually a legend, okay? And I'm proud to be in your presence. Okay. Okay, so she assumed leadership about 10 years ago following the passing of her husband, BPIR founder Lou Vason, and has successfully carried forward his vision ever since. Under her guidance, the Bill Pickett Rodeo continues to shine as both entertainment and cultural education, celebrating Black Western heritage and educating communities about untold contributions to the development of the American West. Wow, awesome. I feel privileged.
No,
I do. Like, y'all are awesome. I do. So, what inspired you to write this book? How did this book come about?
Um,
well, can I answer that? Before I let him answer that. That's my personality.
That's okay. You are the elder, so you can.
But he's
We
used to
defer to you.
you know, Anton and I were actually sitting at home one day just talking about his aspirations. He had started his publishing company and what his vision was for his new company and what he wanted to achieve. He had published a book, and I was sitting there saying, really? You know, I made a promise to my deceased husband, Lou Bassan, who founded the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo, that started his memoir before he passed away,
Oh.
that I would make sure his memoir got published. And I started down that road soon after he passed with one writer. And what I got, I wasn't satisfied with. So I hired a second writer some years later. And I wasn't there. I wasn't comfortable.
You didn't feel it?
I didn't feel it. And you know, God said, be still. Sometimes we just have to be still
And wait, huh?
and wait. And I said, okay. So Anton and I were talking, and I told him, I said, I made this promise. I got to get this book done. And he looked at me and he said, well, do you have all the materials? The recordings, all the everything. And I said, absolutely. I have it all. And I gave it to him. And he took it and he came back later and he said, read this.
Oh, wow.
So I read the first chapter that he had put together. And I said, we're doing this. Because reading that first chapter spoke volumes about what the rest of this book would reflect. And it would reflect the true nature of Lou Vassan, which is what had to happen. If it couldn't reflect who he was as a person, I was not going to move forward with it. So I'm sorry for taking over.
No, no, no. So, Anton, you had the touch. Up there.
well, it's like Valeria said, it was a blessing. What helped was when we were talking that day and I asked her what was her goal, what was her intention, what does she want to see as far as the end game for the book, not the story as far as making sure the book is published, but what was she looking for? And once she gave me that clarity and that understanding, it was just clear. Knowing Bill Pickett Rodeo, my relationship with Valeria, it was just special to me. So when I looked at the interviews and started just going through it, the story just automatically was captivating for myself as I'm just initially reading it. And as I'm just going over it, over and over again, just reading everything, it just kind of started speaking to me. And um, like she was kind of saying, this is Lou's message of what he was doing throughout his career, throughout his life, and from the music and then transition to the rodeo. Um, he's, he wanted to tell people's story. He wanted people to have a voice that wasn't being heard, that was there all along. And as he, like I said, as I'm reading it and I had that clarity, I just started working on it and figuring out. My head was turning, and I was picturing this entire life as I'm reading it. And when I gave it to Valeria, and she played with it for a few days and worked on it and gave it to her, and she kind of said that she loved it. It kind of just everything rolled from there. It
So
felt
how long did this process take for you to work it all
9
to-
months.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
About 9 months, and I was shocked because when you think about it, it had been 10 years
Oh wow.
since Lou had passed, and
Oh you waited a while.
I did,
Yeah.
because I'm the type, if you can't do it right, don't do
Do
it.
that.
And we couldn't get it right, and I was not going to disrespect
Right.
Lou.
Mhm.
So I could feel Anton's passion. He understood what I was looking for. He understood what Lou was saying. He had the recordings. So he put the story together and brought all the people who were part of Lou's life and made it part of this story.
Mhm.
And it's just an absolutely good read, but it was created in that 9-month period of time. And did we have some knockout dragouts? Yeah. At one point, I'm going, you need to listen to what I'm saying.
Wonderful.
It was about
It's quite impressive.
9 months we were there, and then we we
But I
sat
can
down.
tell though, y'all have a bond from that project.
I enjoyed every part of it. Me and her, we had 5 or 6 hour sessions.
Oh my God.
Going through it.
Wow.
The next day we might have another 2 or 3 hour session. Wait a week and have another one, and it was just we were just strategic. We were having fun. We bump heads, but no matter what, it was for the end game, the final product, right? And that's just it meant so much that she gave me the opportunity to do this for her, and I'm blessed and I'm thankful.
Okay. So for those who don't know Lou Vason, just briefly, because I know there's so much, because he has quite a legacy. I want to start with Miss Valeria first. Can you just kind of share who is Lou Vason to you?
Well, I met Lou in 1984 when he was getting ready to actually produce his first Bill Pickett rodeo.
Wow.
Yes,
So Bill Pickett Rodeo was 1984?
the first rodeo was held in.
I think- Where was I in 19?
Okay.
Was I born? No, just kidding. No, I'm
That's well, I was.
Oh,
And
I think I was in junior high
Okay.
or high school, one of them. But I was okay.
And he was getting ready to produce his first rodeo in Denver, Colorado. I had just moved to Denver in 1984, and I met him on an airplane actually coming back from Atlanta. My mother had passed away, and I met him and his best friend on the airplane, and he invited me to his rodeo, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry I can't come that day because I have tickets to Michael Jackson. So, you know, it was Michael Jackson or rodeo. I didn't even know what a rodeo was. Let me tell you that. I had to literally,
So y'all met on an airplane?
yes.
Interesting. Wow.
And it's all in the book. It's a quite interesting story. So I did not go to his first rodeo.
And that's a
But
good reason. Okay. MJ.
after that, we started dating, and you know, I started learning who he was and how he was this personality that if he saw something that he could do for the Black community, he was going to do it. He was not going to be defeated. And learning that journey when he went to Cheyenne Frontier Days in 1977 to a rodeo there, and he didn't.
Okay, we're gonna pause right there. For those who don't know, Cheyenne is
The grandfather of rodeos.
Frontier days, right?
Yeah, that's in Wyoming.
Yes.
For those who don't know, okay. So I know a lot of people think rodeo is just strictly Texas.
Yeah.
They really do, and I have to explain it's the West, you know. But go ahead.
And Cheyenne has it is known that rodeo is known as the grandfather of rodeos. And he went there with some friends, and what he noticed is he didn't see anybody that looked like him, and that intrigued him. And he asked the question, why? And he found the answer, why. He came back and did a lot of research and found that there were thousands of Black cowboys and cowgirls around the country, but they were not given the opportunity nor the platforms to perform. And so he said, I am going to create an African American Rodeo Association. And he did that. It took him from 1977 to 1984, 7 years. You know, the number seven has a completion. And it took him that long, but he got it done. Going through, I would say, a very tough journey of his friends and his family telling him he was stupid, it would never happen, he was crazy, he would not be successful. And even after he did the first rodeo, people were still telling him, you're not going to be successful. Well, now the truth is, I'm on the team, so success was going to happen.
Amen. Okay. Wow.
And
I think you just hate naysayers.
But that's what life is all about. And that was one of the reasons this book is titled Dreamer to Visionary, Visionary to Pioneer. Because you must have your own dream, and you must not let anybody deter your dream.
I think that's a word for everybody. That's it, right?
and to add to what Valeria said, it was special for me was the beginning, right? And as I'm doing the research for him and learning just who this person is, growing up, where he's from, right? He's every single one of us. You know, he was born in Louisiana. He lived in Alabama. He lived in the South. I went to school in the South. My grandmother lives in Albany, Georgia. So, I've been to New Orleans. My grandfather was from New Orleans as well. So, understanding that part and knowing that I was, understanding the humidity, and I grew up in that humidity. His grandmother is my grandmother, right? In a different way. Your grandmother, we're all part of the same culture. We're all part of the same struggle. So as he, moved from the South to California, he was young. He total different experience of, seeing the world, seeing how the culture is, how California versus the South is, especially in the time of the 50s and the 60s, right? The civil rights. Being young and, not knowing what the world's, what's ahead of you, right? He went to the military and, did a few things, tried to figure out life and, had that experience, got back to California. And now is trying to just figure out things that he wanted to do, right? Like where he was going from there. And I mean, just from beginning to that part right there, that's every single one of us in this room figuring
Trying to
out.
figure it out.
Right,
I'm
absolutely.
still trying to figure it out. So
And he had, he had vision from the beginning, right? As far as what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go. And I feel like that's every single one of us at some point as well, right? We have a dream in our heart. We have something that somewhere we want to get to, right? But life happens in a million different ways. And the consistency, the discipline of following that dream, right, is part of the process. So once he got into the music industry, I mean, he did everything. He was modeling. He was music promoter. He was
Newspaper editor,
right.
writer,
okay.
nightclub promoter.
I mean, he wore so many hats, literally simultaneously.
Did he actually perform in the music industry, or
No.
is it just okay?
No, he was just a promoter.
Okay.
And just no matter what, he was making a way. He was figuring out, what he wanted to do, and he was enjoying it every part of the process, learning his lessons, and then came across the rodeo and that opportunity. And what stood out to me was when he was a editor.
Did he come across the rodeo in California, or was he already in Colorado?
So he was from California. He went to Colorado, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's
fine. And he ended up taking a trip out to Cheyenne.
That's okay.
And if I could say something else, you'll see in this book the journey. While he was very engaged in a lot of different things, trying to find who he really was and what was really important to him. From being a model, from being on television, from fashion designer, fashion shows, creating beauty pageants, producing some of the largest names in music, the Funk Festival and the P-Funk Tour and all of that.
Wow.
There was a personal life going on. He was married 3 different times. I think I was the 4th. And, but the book.
So the 4th time is the charm.
Yes, you could say the 4th time was a charm.
Okay.
And you will read about the secret wedding that he planned. I didn't know anything about the wedding, but the book will share that with you. But my point was, he was doing what he wanted to do, and he left some baggage, divorces, hurt children. And when I say hurt children, sadness by the divorce, things, but life, just life. But he kept moving forward, not letting any of it slow him down. Lou had a personality that you would either love or hate. It was no in between.
Hot or cold, huh?
It was hot or cold. And I'm just being very honest. Stubborn, capital, all letters.
Exclamation point behind it?
Yes.
Okay.
Arrogant, all capital letters. But loved his Black community. And whatever he did, it was always done trying to uplift the Black community. Long before rodeo, he was writing in the newspaper, social articles, and he will talk about the Jack and Jill and the what's
The links.
the links, and you know, and the stories there. It's the real world. And he talked about how all of that affected him and made him to be the person that he was. So, as Anton said, this book takes you on that journey.
And it sounds very complete. Like he
It
did a
is.
whole lot.
He did more than
Did.
probably all of us in here together.
Yep.
With,
Sound like Lou Vason got quite a story. Okay, dreamer to visionary, visionary to pioneer. So this book, I just want to make sure it's, and it looks like it's, you must squeeze you. How did you manage to get all his story? Because it's not a very thick book, but you got a lot of good stuff in here, huh?
I mean, it was all the manuscripts said everything, right? It was just putting.
So did you leave a lot out?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
oh, okay.
I go from beginning to,
Oh wow.
no, it's his life, it's his story,
Okay.
and it just
and it's in his work
absolutely.
because he did these recordings before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people who are reflected in this book, their recordings were done while he was still alive. And so now we've just brought all the pieces together and brought the story together so that it just dances off the pages as you were reading it. And I've had a number of people that have bought the book and have read it say, oh my goodness, it's almost like one of those romance novels. You can't put it down. You know, and that's what I wanted it to be because it's his story
Mm-hmm.
and it's real. And I wanted people to pick it up and not want to put it down, wanted to grab them and feel the impact of who he was because he deserves to be celebrated. I keep his legacy going because of all the work he did. I owe it to him to elevate the rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've tried to do with my team over the last 10 years.
And so, what do you think his response will be to this book?
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
he would say, girl, I didn't know you had it in you. He would be very happy. First, that I kept the promise. Second, that I did not accept less than what he would have accepted. I knew who he was. I knew what he would expect. I knew he would want the story to be real and not doctored up. You know, I've had people to call me and say, I can't believe you shared that. Well, it was part of his life. It was part of his story.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get
You
upset.
didn't get a lot of that though, did you?
I got a few, but you know, that's okay. I have very thick skin. And you know, life is not always what we want it to be. It is what God gives us, and we're to learn something from it. And this was his story, good, bad, and indifferent. And I was not going to change
You
anything.
just kept it real.
I kept it real.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Now, what did you learn from doing this work? Tell us some things you learned from Mr. Vason, Lou Vason.
A lot of what she said, but just how real every one of our lives is. There's a story in each one of us, right? Your unique perspective of what you've experienced and what you've seen, right? What I've seen, what Valeria has seen, right? It's all part of our collective human, everyday humanity, right?
Mhm.
So to know that I'm intrigued to want to tell as many stories as possible, right? Every time I look at somebody now, I kind of hate the cliche of perception is reality, or I'm probably the biggest fighter of that because you can't judge a book by its cover, right?
Mhm.
There's so more beyond every
Oh, yeah.
person that I see, from the culture they're from the they're doing the exact same thing in every part of the country. They're just doing it a different way, and how you tell that story could be somebody's medicine, right? Could be somebody's aha moment to feel like, wow, me too, right?
So was there anything in particular that stood out for you as you was doing your research? I mean, did you like, was there like what experience or what stood out? Like you're like, oh my goodness,
I mean,
this is
I went to
it's,
school in the
it's so
South.
many.
I lived in the dirty South. I've seen the culture that's out there. My grandmother, the hot summers. I've tried to figure out my life as far as have a vision and things that I wanted to go ahead and do. How life happened and got in the way, and I had to figure out a way to move forward, and keeps throwing punches at you
Okay.
no matter what. So his story was literally just me living mine right now and trying to create that same legacy and have vision. So to see it so successful, be successful, right? Um, it's inspiring because
Definitely inspiring.
it's tremendously inspiring.
When your dream outlives you, that's an awesome thing.
Well, it's I mean, I just had a recent loss going on about a year ago, and that hit my heart so tough, right? And what that loss told me was that all we really have is the present moment to do as many things as we can do, right? So when it's over, it's over,
Mhm.
right?
So to sum that up, Lou's reality was your reality.
Absolutely.
Is the way as I'm listening to this,
Yeah,
he could relate to what,
a lot of stuff he went through.
yes, and he saw it and could then relate to it. And I think what I saw with Anton, he was getting excited about taking what he could relate to it and putting it in the story, making it come off the pages, as
Right.
I've said before. And if I could just share this, I am a true believer that everything that happens in life happens for a reason. And I would not know Anton if I had not met his father at a Bill Pickett Rodeo in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And he hit on me. He'll tell you a different story.
Right.
But
But that was
he
many
hit on
years
me.
later.
And you know, he was God's gift to me, because after Lou passed, I waited, and it was time for me to move on with my life. And I just asked God to, when it's right, you put the right person in my life. And he did. And Anton is the son of the man that I ended up marrying.
Okay, so
um,
your bonus.
yeah, my bonus.
Mhm.
And I just reflected on that, because when I sit back and reflect on the greatness of this book, I reflect on how it all came together. And it didn't just happen, it came together because of divine intervention, purpose. And so,
Wow. Okay, well, we shared a lot. I guess I need to give the audience a chance to share and respond. Um, so, does anyone have any questions, any commentary, any thoughts? Going once, going twice. I'm gonna let you kind of think about it. But while they're doing that, I'm gonna continue to ask some more questions. Um, Now with the rodeo, I guess I'm just going to go talk a little bit more about the Bill Pickett rodeo experience. Um, so you've been the CEO for how long?
Since 2015.
And do you see like more young people getting involved with the rodeo now?
Yes, and that's a good thing.
That's a
you
great
know,
thing. Mhm.
we are celebrating 41 years.
Wow,
Okay, and
41.
41 years.
That's
And
amazing.
we are excited about it. We're a fifth generation organization. But what excites me is the fact that they're young people, as young as 3 months old. You know, their parents have been with the rodeo for so long. When they have babies now, they have. I mean, I was in Atlanta just 2 weeks ago, and I was watching the grand entry, and there are cowboys and cowgirls with their babies holding them in front of in the front of the horse with them, proud. And I'm going, look at these kids. This is the future, our future of the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. So, and we have 5 to 7 year olds performing in the rodeo. We have pee-wee events. We have our junior events from 8 years old to 12 years old. And then, the rest is adults. But I could tell you so many stories of seeing these generations. I'm old, so let's just admit it. And I'm proud of it.
Oh my God.
But I've seen
Gorgeous.
these generations grow up, and they just love the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. They love being part of something. And what I've tried to impart is we're not just doing a rodeo, we're doing something to give back to our community, to uplift our community, and to educate our community. And if we can't do those three things, then we shouldn't be doing it. And so that's why we're called the greatest show on dirt.
Well, definitely a cultural experience. I mean, and I just noticed, and I don't want to give, but I mean, even Beyonce, everyone is doing Western now. It's like it's a big, huge surgence in Western attire,
Right.
boots on the ground. Even I got a hat on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I mean, it's just, it's just so beautiful to see, and I just, I want to hear your thoughts on that, and.
So many people ask me that
Do
question.
you say finally y'all getting it, or?
Yes, that's what I say. Finally,
Finally, I mean,
people are getting it. And a lot of newspapers, media have asked me the question, has Beyonce helped? Absolutely, she's helped. We have helped Beyonce also, but she put an eye on it for our entire community. And why everybody wanted to attack her, I don't understand. But I do understand, because when you're a Black female and you're talking about Western, you're talking about rodeo, people feel you need to stay in your place. Well, for a sister like me, I have no place. My place is wherever I choose to be. And Beyonce's place is wherever she chooses to be. So what she did was incredible. It was actual genius, what she did. And we love her for what the additional attention she's brought to the Western world and to rodeo. And then I can't think of his name, with boots on the ground.
803 Fresh.
Oh,
803 Fresh.
Fresh.
I mean, look, we got our fans. And,
Oh my God, have you worn that one out? Oh my goodness, that has been a phenomenon. I mean, every culture is doing boots on the ground. I'm like,
but people are having fun. Yeah. And people are just enjoying each other and celebrating our greatness of our Western heritage. You know, this country um, just didn't create itself. Every 1 in 4 cowboys back in the day
Mm-hmm.
were black.
Yes.
But you didn't see it, you didn't read about it, you don't hear about it in the history books, you don't see it on the movie screens. You don't, it's just not out there. And Lou's vision was we need to tell our history, we need to tell our story, we need to educate our communities, we need to make our own history. And that's what we've done with the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. We celebrate our past, we create our future, and we're looking forward to elevating whatever is in store. So,
Right.
That's a good way to end it right there. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation. I don't want any questions, thoughts. Okay. Um, Go ahead. You got to talk loud for the.
Okay. Hi, folks. Glad to be here tonight. How did Lou come across Bill Pickett and the history of him, and then what inspired him to name his rodeo after him?
Oh, great question.
that is an excellent question. Just in case you didn't hear it, the question was what inspired Lou to name the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo after Bill Pickett, and what research did he do? As I shared with you in 1977, Lou spent 7 years educating himself. He went to museums, he went to libraries, he spent a lot of time with Paul Stewart in Denver, Colorado at the Black American West Museum. Nights they would spend laying on the floor, talking, going through history books, learning about the different people in the development of the West. And he came across Bill Pickett and he decided, I want to name my rodeo after Bill Pickett. Well, you know, you just can't wake up in the morning and decide you want to name something after somebody. So he had to seek out his family, and he did. And, you know, there's a portion of that in the book where we'll talk about that journey also. Um, they found him, his family, and Frank Phillips was the key in bringing all the pieces together and on behalf of the Pickett family and giving Lou permission to name the rodeo after Bill Pickett. I just met with his, I'm not going to get it right. I think it's his great, great, great
Wow.
niece in California. She came to the Oakland Rodeo. She's very elderly now, but she's a sweetheart. And every time she sees me, she just gives me a hug and says, I can't thank you and Lou enough for celebrating our family. And so that means so much because not only does Lou live on, Bill Pickett lives on. And when we started this rodeo, trust me, nobody knew who Bill Pickett was, but everybody knows who Bill Pickett is now. So great question,
Great
and thank you
question.
for that.
Wow.
Hi. I came in a little bit late, so I apologize. But I guess my question is, if someone, besides participation, contestants, and you have people attending the rodeo, how can someone get involved, and what do you see the future of it going?
Great question. Her question was, besides being a contestant, how can you participate in the rodeo, and where do I see the future of the rodeo going? If you like to be involved, we have, obviously, we travel across the United States.
How many?
We go from Denver, Colorado. We start in January We go from Denver to Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, we go to the West Coast, Oakland, California, Los Angeles, California, and then Atlanta, Georgia. That is part of what we call our Legacy Series tour. We have 2 tours, and then we have a Texas Connection tour where we come here 4 times a year at Cowtown Coliseum. And just for those of you who don't know, Cowtown Coliseum is the oldest rodeo coliseum in the world. So
Didn't know that. Wow.
you have history here that you should be proud of. We are a partner with the PBR. They asked us if we wanted to partner with them. In 2021,
Who's PBR?
PBR is Professional Bull Riding. They are the largest, probably the largest, they are the largest professional bull riding company in the world. They have international shows, and we were just humbled that they reached out to us and wanted to partner with us. We partnered with them in 2021 in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Arena.
Oh, wow.
And we did the first African American rodeo at the MGM Grand Arena. I don't know if anybody's been to that arena, but what I do know when I walked in there is that we would have never been able to do that or accomplish that on our own. So another gift from above. And when we did that, it was televised by CBS. And it was the first time an African American rodeo had been televised on national television
Wow.
across the country. So when you look at our
What day
successes,
was it?
Juneteenth
Oh,
in 2021, thank you for that prompt. It was the same year that President Biden made Juneteenth a national holiday.
oh, wow.
So you just look at how things happen and what the successes are. I know I'm going around the world to answer your question, but I was trying to get to the fact I have to give the PBR their credit because they asked us if we wanted to do a residency program here in Fort Worth. Well, you and I know we needed to bring some diversity to Cowtown.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done that. And the businesses down there have been very embracing, very happy to have us there. And we love how the Dallas Fort Worth area has opened their arms up and supported us and come out and supported us. Now, you know, the PBR is trying to make Fort Worth, Cowtown Coliseum, and the National Western area the Western Entertainment Center of the world.
Oh, really?
They are going to get there, trust me. If you see what's going on down there, it's going to happen. And people are going to be coming here to your city just like they go to Las Vegas
Oh,
for
wow.
the entertainment. So you're on to something great. And I thank the PBR for including us. So that's our Texas Connection series. We come in February, May, June, and August. We'll be there this Saturday for 2 shows. I say
Get your
all
tickets.
get your
Can I
tickets.
have the date again? When you'll be there?
It's
Saturday.
this Saturday, and
2 shows, 1:30 and 7:30. And this will be our last visit for this year until February of next year. And then we take the top 10 cowboys and cowgirls from the Texas Connection and Legacy series and they're invited to our national finals in Washington, D.C. in September, where we crown our 2025 champions. So we have worked long and hard to create the Bill Pickett to be something that our African American cowboys and cowgirls can be proud of. We can't offer the money that they do in Las Vegas, because still to this day, sponsors don't value us as much as they do the other rodeos. But that's okay. We don't let that deter us. We create our greatness with what we have. And you know what? Washington, D.C. is in September, and all 3 shows are sold out.
Wow.
God is good.
Yep.
Yes. Awesome.
So if you want to be involved, go on our website, BillPickettRodeo.com. My email address is on there. Reach out to me and I will respond.
I love it. This has been awesome. Okay. Oh, one more question. Okay, go ahead.
You guys mentioned that Mr. Vason was a music producer, and I just wanted to know, is Bill Pickett organization doing something other than the rodeo to continue his legacy in maybe another arena or another space?
Well, that's a great question too, you know.
Is that tied into the soul?
So country music. My partner, who is Margot Wade LeDrew, she was part of the inspiration for me to continue the Bill Pickett Rodeo after Lou passed. She and the other women said, "You can do this," because I was very fearful, you know, Black female trying to run a rodeo association. Rodeo is a white man's world, okay? And I saw all the struggles Lou went through being a Black man.
Right.
I knew my journey was going to be multiplied 10 times more. So I was very fearful, but she was critical in bringing the group of Black women together, and they made sure that I knew that they were standing behind me 100%. So I give her a lot of credit for that. But Margot, being the creative woman she is, loved and had this concept that she wanted to create um, soul country music competition, you know, kind of like, what do you call
Like a
it?
talent show.
Like a talent show, but soul country. Okay.
So
And so last year, in January, I think it was, she said to me, "You know, I still want to do this." And I was in one of my moods. So I'm just going to share that with you. And I said, "Margot, you need to stop talking about it and you need to make it happen.
and be about it. I remember.
So go do it." And she did. And she created Soul Country Music Star. It debuted last year for the first time in partnership with the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. We're in the 2nd year now. She hired Michelle Johnson as her producer of Soul Country Music Star, who happened to be in the audience this evening. And they have done a phenomenal job. And we feel so blessed to sit there and watch the talent that comes out of our community.
Oh, it's a lot.
It is incredible.
It's
And
incredible.
you just sit there and you go, if this is what's shining here, what else is there for us to uncover? So for me, it is just additional encouragement that we as a people, we stand on so much greatness. We just don't know it. And we have to celebrate that. So with the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo over here, soul country music over here, we're giving kudos to Luke because he was an entertainer.
Mhm.
And what he would say about soul country music is, "Look at my girls. They're taking names and kicking butt."
Can you?
And you're so right about that because we have an open mic every Tuesday at 7:30, and we talk about talent. I mean, it's
Incredible.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Treasures.
And we have told some of the talent that comes on Tuesday to sign up for that soul country because y'all got a little like prize too. Oh yeah, yeah. So
Well, we'll be celebrating soul country music tomorrow night at the Pink
Club Ritzy.
Club Ritzy. Excuse me.
tomorrow
I-
night,
Yes,
okay,
at 8:30.
that's where I'm gonna be. You going, Jim?
Can you tell us a little bit about the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo Foundation and what it does in communities?
Okay, great question.
Another great question. Boy, I'm loving this. You know, when I talk about the journey and I celebrate how the community has embraced the rodeo. For the last 4 years, every show that we have done has been sold out across this United States of America. That speaks volumes, okay? And I am that person that says, when somebody gives something to you, you must always give back to them. So we have our nonprofit foundation, which is called the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo Foundation. And we give back to our community in a number of different ways. We give scholarships to young adults graduating from high school to college in every city that we do a rodeo in. So that's our way of uplifting our youth and helping to encourage them. We do workshops in all of the cities that we go to we've had as many as 100 students in our workshops, and we talk to them about a number of different things. We partner with AVV, which is Anti-Violence Venture. They're out of California, and they follow us in some of the markets across the country. And we teach our kids and give them an opportunity to talk about what bullying is all about, how to deal with violent behavior. We teach them how to channel their emotions. We teach them about self-awareness, self-management, being aware of your emotions. My husband is an emotional intelligence life coach. He is very much focused on young people. So we have to give back because we are given so much. We partner with health organizations to make sure our communities are aware of things, high blood pressure, prostate cancer, breast cancer, heart attacks. When COVID was here and we were down for 2 years, we didn't stop. Even though we couldn't rodeo, we did not lose connection with our communities. We were feeding them information, giving them encouragement, doing virtual rodeos, making sure that we were reaching out and touching people who just felt alone and by themselves. So once again, our foundation is built on the basis of when much is given to you, you must give back.
That's good. That's good. And we're going to close on this because it's very important, just in case Brenda Jackson is watching. Brenda Jackson is a romance author who we love.
Yes.
And good friends with Miss Valeria. So so how did that kind of happen? Because it's kind of like a funny story. I hear about the Medeiros family being closely related to the Vason family. So and so as a result, a lot of her readers went to the rodeo, based on this character in the Medeiros series. And if you haven't read her, you got to read it. It's really it's
You
captivating. I think you got 30 books to it by now.
You must support Brenda Jackson. Brenda came to the rodeo. I can't even remember which location it was in. But she and Lou became very close friends, and they were sitting there just talking. And next thing you know, Brenda had created a character, and she wrote a whole series about him. But I know who the cowboy was, and he went on tour, and he would be at book signings at the rodeo for Brenda. I do know this. Brenda is getting ready to create a new, excuse me, Western character.
Oh, really?
And I think she told me it's coming out in November.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. But she's hard at work again,
Yeah, she love her
creating,
cowboys.
bringing the Western world into her novels. So
Yeah, romance.
make sure you get, she's got a new book coming out this month or next month. I
Well,
can't.
she had one recently, I think, this year called Spilling the Tea, but I think I can't keep up with her books.
I know
she
she
got,
writes so
Like too.
fast.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess she gotta be at least the 30th or 50th Madeiras book. Love you, Brenda Jackson. Okay, we're gonna move on. All right, so we have to close it up. We could talk on and on about Lou Vason because, gosh, he was so multifaceted and just, um, he has so much history and love for his community and the way the rodeo has influenced Black culture and it's just, I mean, this here is truly, I think, a must have for every household. I really do. I mean, because this is history. This is not just Black history, but this is American history. And that's why you just said under the Western skies. I like that.
Amazing story. It's an amazing story.
Amazing story.
Anton did a great job coming up with the
The
title,
title and
Under the Western Skies. And when he brought that to me,
covers a lot of
Yeah. it was like, wow, that's powerful just in itself. And then
He did a lot under the Western sky.
he did a lot.
Okay.
I mean,
Sounds like a movie title.
Oh yeah,
We're working on that.
that'd be great. I would love to see his story on screen. That's really a good idea.
story.
Okay, might need to start writing a screen.
I mean,
We're
we're
working.
working. Absolutely.
All right, so definitely stop by the Doc Bookshop, pick up your copy of this book or wherever books are sold. Get you a copy. We support indie, so if you can, go to any bookstore and get the book if you're not in the DFW area. Again, thank you so much, Miss Valeria, for
You're
just
welcome.
being here and just your presence and all that you're doing. You're just an inspiration.
Thank you.
And you are a living legend.
Well, you are too. I mean, when we walked into this beautiful bookstore and we travel the country and I go into a lot of bookstores. So I want to thank you for what you're doing. I think you've been here 17
years.
And what I would encourage everybody who's listening, come out and support her. We have got to learn to support each other and lift each other up. We see what's going on in our world. Don't have your blinders on and don't think that it's going to go away or it's going to get better. Let's support each other because we are going to only survive if we support each other. So thank you. You're the legend.
No, you're the legend. I'm trying to be like you. And thank you, Anton, for coming and just putting this work together. I mean, I don't think you realize what you just created here.
I had fun. It was truly a blessing, and I enjoyed every bit of it. So
Yeah, this
I
is
love his
amazing.
story. And just thank you.
Yes, well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, and thank you for being obedient. You said you're gonna keep you made a promise to Lou Vason, and you kept the promise.
I kept the promise.
It
And
is wonderful.
he would be very happy.
Yes.
And you don't know, the world just lifted off my shoulder when July 1st came and this book was released because that promise was fulfilled. And it was fulfilled, and I knew he was happy.
Please, this is a beautiful book, and I just love the cover. It's so rich. Got those rich Western colors to it.
And
So-
if you come get the book here at the Doc Bookstore, but if you can't, you can go on my website, billpicketrodeo.com, and go to our swag hub. You can order the book online, or you can go to amazon.com.
Mhm. Or, and like I said, indie bookstores, anybody can get this book, so definitely support. All right, well, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Ashley. And definitely share this video, and we appreciate you. And until next time, keep reading.